Welcome to the Hastings Seafront. I'm Van Homan. Today we're here with one of the most progressive combinations of burly and technical street riding in BMX today. He's a former Nora Cup and X Games gold medalist, Lewis Mills. How's it going, Lewis? How you feel to be in Hastings this weekend?
I'm good. Good to be here.
So today we're gonna check out Lewis's signature Fiend E-Claw build. You ready to dive into this bicycle?
Let's go.
All right, Lewis, obviously you're a taller rider. How tall are you exactly?
I don't know exactly, but I'd say around 6'2".
All right.
6'2".
So you're a big man.
Yeah.
All right, so when you're designing a signature frame, especially with your riding style, a combination of burly and technical, what becomes the most important elements in the design, and kind of break this thing down for us?
Okay, so like you were saying, I'm a bit tall of a rider. So with the frame design, Tony and I were talking and we decided to go with a higher standover. For that reason being, I think it creates a little bit more stability for my riding. Being a bit taller and running shorter, it definitely feels a bit more twitchy and reactive, and sometimes I don't like that. I like a bit more of a heavier, fluid feeling when I ride. So definitely the higher standover helps that. Also, having a bigger top tube, I'm constantly going up. I might even go up even more. So I'm always trying to...
What top tube are you riding?
21.25.
Okay.
21.25, so it's the biggest one that we've got in this frame size. But yeah, it's pretty much just to level everything out with my height. And I'm kind of almost anal with how I look on the bike, so I want everything to match and not feel too out of whack.
Right, so what about the rear end? What rear end length you got?
The rear end is a 13.1 slammed,
Okay.
but you can probably pull it back to a 13.25 maybe. I don't know if, I don't know.
No, but it sounds like you have that right combination. Like you said, the tall over standover,
Yeah.
you need room, but
Yeah.
you also want something that's responsive. So it's that combination of responsiveness and
Yeah.
stability.
Exactly, because if we went bigger than a 13.1, it would feel different. So like you were saying, yeah, we got a little bit of both. We got the twitchiness, but we also have the stability.
Got it.
Yeah.
You're running the E-Claw Storm fork. It's clean and sturdy. It's offered in 15, 20, 25, and 30 millimeter offset options. What offset are you running, and what else should we know about this fork?
I'm running a 25, so what is that? A little bit more to that side. So I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm
little mellower. Not
little-
too mellow, but yeah.
exactly a little mellower. I tried 15s and 20s, and they were too much for me. It felt like the wheel span was too close together, and it just felt like twitchy. What we were saying, a
Right.
bit too responsive. So having a 25 just kind of allows the bike to feel just stable.
No, yeah, I think it makes sense to me. Like you said, you still want it to be responsive, but also with the 25 millimeter, it's going to be able to handle some of those like burlier drops
Exactly.
and high speed gaps that you might do.
Exactly, it definitely holds everything together well, and you can also jump on trails, bowl if you feel like it, and not have to be, I don't know, a bit scared to get into it. Because having steep forks really does, changes it,
Right.
changes your riding.
Yeah, so I mean, I think this frame and this machine overall is kind of built to do it all, right?
Exactly, and also just have an average sort of frame in terms of specs. Like it doesn't have anything special to it. It's just quite, just normal. That's
Yeah.
what we were going for, is just a normal frame.
No gimmicks.
No gimmicks, that's right, no gimmicks, no twitchy tats.
This is a BMX frame right
Exactly, exactly, it rides for you.
here. All right, Lewis, so you also have your own signature handlebar, the E-Claw controller bars. So I'm going to assume that you designed this bar for maximum control.
Yep.
I've also heard that you sometimes go back and forth between 9.5 and 9.75 rise. Is that true?
Yeah, that's true.
And why? So break that down. Why?
Well, back in the day, I was running a 9.7, also 10s. So I was getting comfortable with higher bars. It helped me with manual stability, but tricks were lacking, hops were lacking. I remember Garrett told me about his front load stem, and having a lower front end really helped him with higher hops in the street.
Okay.
So I went down to a 9.5, and it's pretty much my perfect size bar.
Yeah, so how's that combined? You mentioned what? This is the Fiend Reynolds stem?
Yeah,
That
Fiend
we're
Reynolds
running?
stem, the front load stem. I was running a top load for a couple years, and then I went to a front load, and I don't really look back. I feel like it's just overall wise, it has quite a middle ground for all tricks rather than helping with certain other tricks. I feel like it's just in the middle.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of like street riders are going back to the front load lately.
Of course, but actually the funny thing was I went back to it because of the look.
Okay.
And kind of had to adapt and learn everything again, because yeah, I didn't really like the top load look. I like the old school look.
So you went to it for style, but then in the end it had function as well.
Exactly, but at the start it was really hard to get used to compared to a top load.
Okay.
But yeah, worth it.
Hey, Lewis, I noticed you have the E-Claw centric pedals on here. They have a really unique design. They have the platform body butts right up to the crank arm, eliminating the need for a traditional pedal wrench and increasing the platform size. So what do you like about these?
Exactly what you said. It's just a bigger platform, and there's no gap between the crank and the pedal. That tiny little gap, sometimes you can feel it on your foot and on crank arm slides. You can just feel the groove. So this kind of eliminates that sort of lock-in spot, and most of the grinds, crank arm grinds, are quite consistent.
Okay.
So bigger platform for tail whips for your feet, and just generally you feel more comfortable when you have a bigger platform pedal, I feel.
Yeah, no, it makes total sense. Just a really clean look and more space for those big feet. All right, Lewis, you've got your own signature Fiend Mills pivotal seat. I notice it's a bit of a fatter seat. I also noticed you got a lot of post going on here. How important is your seat shape and your post height?
Mate, the most important. We're going for the old school again. This is a Nyquist and Miro inspiration, the big white seat.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm always going to keep my seat fat for switch bars and just comfort. Like, there's times where you'll try tricks and your inside of your knees will hit the side of the seat, and just having that extra padding is just gives me a bit more confidence when I'm trying stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, but also again, just with the look, I like a big stock fat seat. The white's nice, makes it look a little bit bigger. And the seat post height I've just been constantly putting up over the years. It's a couple kids in Sweden that I definitely got some inspo from that rock the high seat in street. And yeah, like I was saying, Nyquist and Miro, I think their bikes look the sickest. And
yeah.
That's it.
Kind of going back to a really classic look with it. Yeah.
Exactly, classic 2000s BMX.
Yeah, classic and comfortable.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You have the E-Claw Cortex hubs. You've got the free coaster in the rear, the low flange hub designed specifically for street in the front. Break down this hub setup for us, and why do you choose a free coaster?
Okay, the front setup is perfect for street, and just the complete wheel. Everything snaps into place, and also the hub guards will never wear out. I've noticed over the years that certain hub guards that don't have a certain slot in hard plastic, they'll wear out after a good couple months of grinding. So these ones have never let me down because they have a nice slot in and hard plastic. The rear, I mean, I've been riding a free coaster since I could remember. I never really had a time of riding a cassette, so for me that's normal. Okay. But just for the ability of learning new tricks, and I think it broadens my trick base, the free coaster. I think if I went to a cassette, I'd lose a lot. Okay. Rather than gain. So yeah, it's just for fun.
All right, so while we're talking about the hub guards, let's transition right into your pegs. What kind of pegs do you got on this machine, and what size?
I think I'm running the 4.5 pegs. I was running 4.7s, but they were just a little bit too big for me.
So what do we got? Do we got a steel insert? It looks like we have a chromo core. Chromo core?
Yeah, it's a stronger one. What's the stronger one? Steel?
Yeah, chromo core, yeah.
Yeah, so we got those on. The way I had the alloy, is it the lighter ones? Yeah. I had the alloy ones on, but just for confidence again in the streets, not knowing anything's gonna break, I'll chuck on the heavier ones.
Awesome, okay. Yeah, makes sense. So all right, we have the E-Claw 440 rims on this. That stands for 440 grams. That means they're lightweight, but they also have the taller sidewall, so they're not sacrificing strength. You know, that's gonna reduce your rotational weight, make it easier to spin maybe. What do you like about these rims?
Exactly what you said, it's the lightness of them. It makes a massive difference if you have lighter rims. Even lighter tubes, that does a huge difference. So that was a tip from Jackman. He said, yeah, put on the 440s, they're lighter, they've withstanded a lot of drops, a lot of time. I don't put on new wheels ever, so it's lasted a long time. So they've held up for me, and I've never had a problem with them, and I've never really changed. I've never really experimented with anything else. So yeah, they've just been the ones for me.
No need, yeah. You're talking about lighter tubes. Do you have special tubes in this?
I do sometimes when I get my hands on them.
Oh, the Tubalitos?
No, not the Tubalitos. No? I think they're just Dunlop or Max's, just light ones. But sometimes when we have them in the shop, Jackman will chuck them in, and you can feel the difference.
So if you have the option, you prefer the lighter tubes, but it's not always.
It's not always, it's not always like that.
They're high ticket. They're high price too.
They are. They're a little bit more expensive, but not like a Tubulito.
All right. So if it's worth it when you need to go when you're really trying to have high performance.
Yeah. And if you're trying something you can't land it, maybe change the tube, see if it works.
It looks like you've got the E-Claw Timoro tires on this thing. Maybe you're even running this one backwards. Is that correct? Is that on purpose? Is that intentional?
It's not on purpose. I get told this a lot. Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing. But yeah, tires have been literally my go-to tire since they've came out. The weight of them is perfect. It's right in the middle. It's not too heavy, but it's not too light. They don't succumb to the pressure of landing sideways and when the tire rolls out. I haven't really had a problem with that at all. So they're easy to get off when you have a flat. They last a really long time, and it's a tire that's perfectly in the middle. You can ride on top of rails with wax, or you can hit a set of dirt jumps. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't feel too out of whack.
Amazing. And what size and tire pressure do you run?
I think it's 2.4s on both. And tire pressure, I normally pump them to a 60, and then after a week, they go down. So like my favorite's probably in that time period. So it'll be about, I don't know, a 50.
Sweet spot.
Yeah,
right
sweet spot. After you pump them up for a couple of days, they get to that perfect level. So let's just say 55.
Okay.
50.
And to wrap it up, what about these? What do we got? The E-Claw Pulsar grips?
Pulsar grips, yep, that's it. That's another one that's my go-to forever. I haven't really changed it. I'm super picky with grips because I don't know, it's just the most feeling you get really, other than your feet on the bike. So you have to have them good, and these last, and they have a super soft compound, and they give you that little bit of stickiness, but not too much.
Okay, and it looks like maybe it even has like a slightly different pattern here. Is that just to fit right in that cup of your hand?
Pretty much. I'll roll them back a couple times too to get the stiffness out of the grip.
Okay.
So then you can squeeze, and you'll create a little bit of a mold where you hold.
All right, Lewis, thanks for sharing your Fiend E-Claw build with us today. Good luck in the Swatch Battle of Hastings this weekend. I'm looking forward to seeing you ride this rail right here. Everyone out there, make sure to check out the Bike Builder. There you can get the specs, pricing, and availability on everything Lewis is riding, sourcebmx.com.